Well, hello, I'm Chris. I'm the team rector in the Golden Cap Benefice, and thanks for joining us for today's midweek message for Thursday, the 24th of November. Well, the Football World Cup has begun. You must have noticed, surely, because every time you turn on the television at the moment, it seems that there's a football match on of some description or another. I'm not a massive fan of football, to be honest. The ball's a funny shape as far as I'm concerned. But of course, this year my interest has been piqued by the fact that the Welsh national football team has qualified for the Football World Cup finals for the first time in a very long time. The last time they played at the Football World Cup was in 1958. In Sweden, I think, which was well before my time. Remember, I'm not as old as I look. It's been a very, very long wait, and much has been made of that fact in all the sports press surrounding Wales's qualification. It's been a very, very long wait. You know, in the Western world, waiting is not something that we do well, because these days we live in a world of instant communication, of same-day delivery, and in such a world, waiting has become very unpopular, seen as a very negative thing, as people seem to me to become ever more impatient when they can't get what they want without delay. I'm glad then that this Sunday the church enters the season of Advent, because Advent is a season that teaches us again the importance of waiting and how to wait well. It's a season of waiting. We wait for the reminder of the arrival of Christ into the first Christmas, and we wait in hope and anticipation for the eventual return of Christ, when he will bring all things to fullness in himself. And if we are to live well in God's world, then we must learn to wait. It's necessary for our growth in the Spirit. God's people, throughout the history of God's people, have often been asked to wait to be delivered from slavery in Egypt, to wait before inheriting the promised land that God was giving them, to wait to return home from exile in Babylon. The Psalms are littered with instructions to wait patiently for the Lord. And even in my Bible reading this morning, a passage from Isaiah the prophet, where the prophet says that those who wait patiently for the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. Of course, the disciples of Jesus are asked to wait for the fullness of God in the promise of the coming Holy Spirit at Pentecost. We don't wait well, but in the Christian tradition, waiting's not the same as doing nothing. It's a very purposeful thing. It's an activity that requires us to be alert, to pay attention, to be watchful, to be prayerful, to be present. It requires us to lay down what we have been doing, or perhaps what we think is important, and instead to look and listen for what God may be saying or doing or bringing in that particular moment. This Advent I shall do what I've done in, many Advents in the past, and that is to buy one of those tall Advent candles that have the numbers down the side, usually from 1 to 24. And what I like to do each day is just to light that candle. Sometimes I turn the lights off in the room I'm in, try and take away any distracting noise, the buzz of a computer or any other electronic device, and just sit in silence and watch the candle as it burns through that particular day's number. And I find this a very helpful way to wait my way through Advent and to put down the busyness that month so often brings for people in my profession. And whether or not in that time of silence, I hear God speak or discover anything new, I find that at the very least it's an opportunity to sit and be quiet and to let God look at me. Can there be anything better to do while we wait than to allow God's gaze to fall upon us, to let God look at us, that we might reflect something of who God is to those around us? Of course, the fruit of Advent waiting is the birth of God among us. We're promised that good things come to those who wait, but we know it's not easy. I hope that the waiting is worth it for the Welsh football team, and I hope too that God will bless you as you wait for him this Advent. Thanks for watching today. God bless you. See you next time.